This will be the Showdown Finals up against a skilled opponent, and I expect it to be very fun and interesting. Glad to be going first. That's always a good advantage to have. Very interesting. I feel like this is keepable. It's an unusual hand, but I have a good feeling about it. Let's see what we're working with. Ooh, okay. Chain, spike, standstill. I'll take the standstill, of course. And then I'll end the turn. Mono blue control. Definitely a formidable deck. Do I want to play wall into spike? No, I don't. If I had some spectacular play lined up for the following turn, which would require all my mana, I'd consider it, but as it is, no reason to give their spike value. That's funny. Let's see. I could play a Wall of Roots. And then go right into Wall of Blossoms, run that into their Forest Spike. And then if I get black mana, I can immediately move into Hypnotist. But that, I don't know. I just don't want to give their Force Spike value. This is a difficult decision. Though it is a slow match, so I need to make a choice. I am going to play Wall of Blossoms. I have a good feeling about that. Survival, okay. Happy to see that. Another Conclave, very interesting. Okay. I am going to play Wall of Roots, and then move, if that resolves, yes, immediately into Survival of the Fittest. Alright, great. It's possible they may chain it. Yep. In response to that, I am going to... I think I want the Hermit. I will discard the Octavia Rainatane. If they have Powder Keg, that's not especially concerning. And I want to get something that will be good if they counter it on its way back down. I want something affordable. You know, I think I will take Birds of Paradise. That feels right. And I'm not so desperate for cards that I sack a land for Wall of Blossoms renewal. Birds helps against the most powerful play they could do, which is Tide with Stifle ready to go. And it also, even if they make a weaker play, gives me the second black for Sadistic Hypnotist, which would be absolutely devastating. Another bird, that's funny. Alright, well, I will try for the survival. It isn't mana leakable, which is cool. That's funny. I definitely want to play at least one of these birds. And the other? I could discard Deranged Hermit, perhaps. Yeah, that would be fine. I can preserve the bird, just in case you need to do the whole, in case of emergency, break glass move that I talked about with Parallax Tide. They just might play Fact or Fiction and then have maybe Tide plus Chain or something. That would not be especially surprising. Let's get Genesis. Discard Genesis. And go get Squee. Start churning out Squee value soon. Okay, that'll be it. No Fact or Fiction, not even an Impulse. That's lucky. I think they haven't been drawing well. At least I hope so. Is this Tide then? Oh, it's just Conclave. Good. Yeah, it feels like I'm getting pretty lucky here. The bouncing of Survival, followed by not countering it. That was really nice. Anyway, time to focus on the present. What do I want? Probably Tempting Worm at this point. Interesting. So, I do believe I'm going for Hypnotist. If they have 2 Force Spike, then they can counter it. If they have 1, that will not get the job done. Excellent. First, we're going to sacrifice Wall of Blossoms. Make a mana. Sacrifice Wall of Roots. They're probably figuring that I'll make them discard everything, but still wise to at least think it through somewhat. Chain of Vapor. Suppose that could have been used on Hypnotist. Follow that with Bird. Dreadnought. That's one of those blue control decks. Right, end the turn. That's good to know. I mean, I already bring in some number of Naturalize, but maybe I'll bump it up a little bit. Alright, take some damage. That is fine. Target target anything. I'm not going to use any of it. I don't know why I did that. I need to keep my head in the game. Anyway, first I will attack. Then I will discard Squee. I will go get second Tempting Worm. Play Tempting Worm. Play other Tempting Worm. Very glad to have two. That is a recent development. Tide is fine, just gonna slow me down slightly, but not enough. Set that auto yield back up. First get my attacks in. Discard Squee. Get another bird, play it. Yeah, this should be over soon. All right, great. One game down into the sideboard. I do not want Bone Shredder. I do not want Withered Wretch. I do not want Ravenous Baloth or Masticore. And I may be able to get by with fewer deranged hermits, but first I'm going to put some stuff in. The worms are quite good here. And they do provide a good amount of offense. I want some number of naturalized, certainly. I'd say at least 3. Mesmeric Fiend as well, absolutely. I could take out... I could remove the Nightmares and the Hermits, maybe. It'll be interesting to see how much of the Parallax Tide element they leave in the deck. It isn't super good here. What's cuttable? Hermit is cuttable. I suppose I could trim down to 1 Wall of Blossoms, or maybe 1 Wall of Roots. I think I want at least 1 Hermit, but I can afford to give back 1. Now maybe, yeah, maybe 1 of each here. I think I don't want to go all the way to 4 naturalize. I'm not sure how Dreadnought-ish they're going to go. Actually, you know what, I'll get rid of the second Hermit. And in addition to that, I'll get rid of 2 Recurring Nightmares because they become worse. And then I will put in the 4th naturalize. The likely counter strategy I expect would be to go to 4 Dreadnought, perhaps. I mean, the Tide just, with all the mana creatures, the Tide just doesn't really work that well. Plus, with the discard, it's hard to pair the Tide with some sort of enabler reliably. Anyway, everything I took out makes sense. Everything still in the deck makes sense. I could potentially decrease Wall of Roots, but I would rather just keep them. I could put in Faceless Butcher, but I don't think I want to go that far. I will keep that. It's not a great hand, but it seems adequate. Naturalize. Some good insurance there. If I'm lucky, they might try to rush me with a Dreadnought, gambling on me not fully giving them credit for it. Oh, standstill, that's inconvenient. Okay, I'm going to play Swamp and then end the turn. I don't have a lot of action right now, but I have lots of land drops, so against a turn 2 standstill being on the draw, this is a pretty good hand to have. We'll just both make a bunch of land drops here, and eventually I will punch through. Hopefully I can get, I don't know, at least one Cabal Therapy. Alright, there's something I would want to resolve, but I still have all these lands. There isn't really a pressing need. I'm just gonna wait a bit longer. I mean, yeah, they could pressure me with Conclave, but that makes them all the more vulnerable to when I finally decide to take action. And the clock is quite slow. Another land. Yeah, the standstill is really helping me get through this flood. I mean, I did keep a hand with 6 mana sources, which may have been a little iffy, but I think I can make it work here. I wonder how many annuls they brought in. And potentially, I could wait till they have 7 cards, end of turn naturalize the standstill, and then they have to discard 3. That could be a viable way to finally break this. Yeah, I still don't want to try and punch through quite yet. Alright, there's Conclave. How deep can I go? Do I want to go one layer deeper? This is difficult. I could kill the standstill. They would discard 2 cards. Then I would have 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I mean, the Conclaves can rush me. I really don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. I'll naturalize the standstill. They will move themselves on up to 8 cards, or 9 rather, and discard 2. Hopefully this whole making them discard thing is more relevant than having a naturalize on hand. Okay. Open up with Mesmeric Fiend. Counterspell, that is no surprise. What do I want to get? I need to brace myself for Parallax Tide. I'm going to play Survival. A little bit of lag here. Let's hope that clears up. Good. I don't want Tempting Worm here. Wall of Roots, I think. Yeah, that feels right. Play that. Play Wall of Roots. Discard. Go get Squee. discard Squee, go get Genesis, pass the turn. I wish I had some more discard, but I feel like that made sense. Yeah, I feel good about the timing. Not sure how much I like my chances here, though. There's got to be a tide coming down. Or maybe they'll try to jam through Dreadnought. I guess it's one or the other. They could afford both, I suppose. Crypt. Interesting. I will not discard Genesis. Gonna let me have this back? Nope. Alright, so first I will discard the Genesis. I will go get Sadistic Hypnotist. It's probably going to run right into a counter. But that's okay. I will still give it a try. Interesting. Okay. Knock that down. The response is Fact or Fiction. Okay. Let's see. I'll give them, I guess, 3 lands versus 2. It's not a very interesting flop. Would have been horrible for them to draw them one at a time depending on where in the 5 the impulse was positioned. Yo, Hypnotist again. I mean, there's nothing I want more than just a Wall of Blossoms here. Just get my card. Ooh, Quell Therapy. A little bit late for that, though. Let's discard that. And then finish the turn. Yep, just going for Conclave. It's not that slow of a clock, but I can always get birds and throw them in the way if I have to. A little bit harder, though, with their Powder Keg in place. Anyway, I will attack first. Let's see. I took out the Hermit, so yeah, I do want to go for Tempting Worm. I'm going to play this, and it really doesn't matter. I'll just name Counterspell or something. I can't afford to spend a bunch of time on this. Stifle, yeah, that's fine. Happy to get rid of it. Okay, probably should have named Stifle first, actually, but who cares? Can't go dwelling on everything. Give myself a Tempting Worm here. Okay. Play it. End the turn. keg is on 2 now. That's interesting. Because now they can't force me to like go get Octavia or Rainatane and use it on the keg before getting birds, if I so choose. Alright, I'll take the damage. Not that I have a choice here. Get Birds of Paradise back, I suppose. Oh, I need to let that resolve first. If they stifle it, I don't want to waste my mana. Interesting. So first I will attack. Alright, Worm is gone. And following that, how do I want to do this? It may be challenging. I will discard this bird. I need to put power on the board. Actually, I could play Hypnotic Spectre. That would be very good. Use that as a blocker. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's absolutely the play I should make. Yeah, I don't really think I have the spare creature to hit them with Hypnotist on only one. Alright, that's going to come in. I will gladly block. We have land into Power Keg. Okay. I'll target the Spectre. That is a yes. I'll attack with Hypnotist. Play Spectre, and I may as well play Survival. There's no reason not to. I can't destroy it once in play. What was exiled here again? Nothing super important. Well, Squee, of course, but and Mesmeric Fiend, but yeah, definitely get by with this. Yes. Call therapy. Okay. I will name, I guess, Fact or Fiction. No, they already used 2 of it. I'll name Counterspell. No, I'll name Chain of Vapor. Oh, just an island. Didn't matter. Okay. I will attack with the Hypnotist. Play the Worm. And end the turn. Chain of Vapor. Cancel. Not going to try and bounce the keg. Alright, they want to attack. That is okay. I will take it. On my own turn, 3, 6, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, I will get Birds of Paradise back. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I will attack. We'll go to 5, and I could get a Katabi, but they would still blow up my worm. Instead, I think I'll simply play both flying blockers. Right, they're up on 3. If they could pair that with a Birds of Paradise or I'm sorry, like a Chain of Vapor or something, that would get me. Ooh, wow. Okay, got me. Well then. That was that was pretty lucky for them, but that's okay. Yeah, that was a pretty insane sequence. Anyway, what do I want to do here? I mean, I could bring in Masticore just to help fight against that type of situation. What can I get rid of, though? No, I don't want Masticore. That's not good enough. It could just be Ravenous Baloth. I mean, it's a perfectly decent threat, and it gains me life. Helps me pull out of reach. Do I still want all 4 Naturalize? I think I do. Do I want to bring in Deranged Hermit? They have a lot of ways to stop it, and those ways are generally pretty cheap. What would I take out for it? Maybe the 4th Wall of Blossoms? Also, I am on 61 cards. I could just submit with 61 cards. That would be totally okay. Yeah, I like the idea of having Baloth. Just mainly it's offense, but it helps with a corner case where they have like two attacking conclaves or whatever. Yeah, I think that is probably good enough. I'm going to submit just overboard to 61. Yep, keeper. Gotta play fast. I am a little bit behind on the clock. I should have enough time, but still. If it goes long, I'm the one who's going to lose. Nice. No, that is too bad. Really not happy to see that. I still have a pretty good hand, though. not sure what they're considering. Maybe it was just which land to play. Parkeg, okay. Just using it up front. That's cool. Alright, I will play Hypnotist. Sack the bird, absolutely. It's hard to tell if I should go further with it, though. They'll still have their one best card. You know what? I think I will. Especially if they're showing me Vision Charm, that means they leaned pretty hard into their Dreadnought sideboard. But I kept all my naturalizes in. Haha, squee. Yeah, I'm not going to bluff naturalize or anything. I'm just going to conserve my time and F6 on their turn. That's good. Let's play the wall. Always happy to have that. Probably should have played the land first. No reason not to, I think. And I'm going to duress before they hit 4 mana. Maybe I can snag something very powerful. Oh, they're just going to counterspell it. Yeah, that's fine. Keg is alright. And Parallax Tide here. Factor Fiction and Stifle. Okay. Taking the first 2 of the game, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Let's hope I draw something powerful. Nope, the opposite. Inconvenient, actually. Oh, that's a good draw. I'll end the turn. I'm going to hit their factory with it, slow down the bleeding. They might find their way into a Dreadnought, but I'm okay with that. I think it's better to slow down their clock. Bird. Yeah, bird I can hold, I think. If I get survival, they can stifle my first activation. Impulse. That's a dangerous card for them to have. I really don't like leaving them with Stifle, but, I mean, I couldn't just not take the Factor Fiction. And they did show me Tide last game, so I know it's not gone. So it'd have to be one of the 2 4-mana cards. Yeah, Stifle opens up a lot of possibilities here. There's Tide. That's going to mess me up. Really wish I had a Cabal Therapy in my graveyard. I mean, I guess I'll play one of it. They'll probably blow it up. Unfortunately, I have 4 Tempting Worms, so that's pretty good. There's the Stifle. Keeping that on 1. I would think they probably use it. They're fully color screwing me. I already used a Birds of Paradise. Like, well, what's the point of holding on to it, giving me access to black? Not to mention a 3rd mana up from 2. Okay, good. Smear Fiend. Right, play bird and turn. About to pull Head in Time, which I guess is kind of nice. Yeah, they've got the whole double Conclave thing going. Presumably they drew something, but at least I have Mesmeric Fiend. Play Wall. Yeah, Counterspell, okay. This would have been a nice matchup to have the old Sabo's Webs for. Yeah, I'm in deep trouble here. I'm almost certainly losing this. Yeah, they really got me in that second game with their combined answers to my blockers. Yeah, I mean, I can still block for a turn. I don't think there's any chance of winning, though. It has to be over now. Puts me at 2. They have 2 activations. I want to see what I would draw off this. Yeah, it's nothing. Alright, well, that's it. Almost won 2 showdowns back to back, but I'll take second.